So we're trying this live thing again, right? And what happens? Internet problems. Go figure. First time we've tried to do the live in a while. But you know what? My guest, she's going to work through it. She's got the big guy on her side, so she's going to do her very best, and she's going to work through it. So, hey, we have put out a video the last couple of days, and we could desperately use your help. If you can use the QR code up above you and help us out, either by using the Community Pay It Forward program, which of course is just shopping with any of our partners, turning in a receipt, or this is the only form that you will see this. There is a place for PayPal. And if you can support our Community Dare to Care mission, that is our Free to All mission. We don't charge for people. We don't charge anybody to come in and, we give away clothing, food, housewares, whatever is needed. It's getting close to school time. We're going to need people to help us by, we're going to be doing a school drive here pretty soon with a lot of wonderful people. We're going to be talking about that here real soon on how you can be part of Community Dare to Care in your area and make a huge difference for teachers in your area. So get ready for that. But if you can spare $2, $10, $5, whatever dollars and help us help others, I would greatly appreciate it. All you got to do is scan that code and find out more. If you would like to talk to us, there is a place that you can just reach out to me right there on that code. The QR code, of course, is also, once again, you can get to the Community Pay It Forward program there. You shop with any of our sponsors, any of our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful giving partners. Shop with any of them. Just give us the receipt and they're going to give us a portion to help us continue. So I know that's a little heavy-handed and I'm coming at you like going, help me, help me. But, we all need a little bit of help. That's what this is all about. So we also want to thank the Colorado Grit for a wonderful, wonderful weekend, partly because they helped a fat old man see hockey again, even in the middle of the hot, hot summer. He got to come in and watch a little bit of hockey and have a lot of fun. He also got to take his two of his grandkids to go see their first ever hockey game. Granddaughter loved the fight. There was one fight. She absolutely loved the fight. Grandson, he loved the hockey. He loved the action. He loved getting to learn more. He was up there slapping the glass and having a lot of fun. So you know what? Colorado Grit, I'm going to be talking to them soon. Hopefully, you're going to see a lot more interaction between Community Pay It Forward and the Grit. So, I love that team. They're our hometown team. They're about ready to begin their second year. We're getting excited because, it's hockey. So, and anybody who knows me knows I love hockey. I also want to thank Jill E. Schultz for being a sponsor to the pACT channels. Everything that we do is, hello, Ghost. Everything that we do is because of people like Jill E. Schultz. She helps us out by being a sponsor of the channel. She's helping us keep the lights on and keep the StreamYard going and keeping everything working. So if you would like to join Jill and become a sponsor, simply, or if you want to join our show and tell your story, simply scan the code. You scan the code, you come on and join the show, tell your story. We're looking for people who are looking to make life better for others. So now it's my great pleasure to introduce somebody to, you're going to get to know her pretty much at the same time I am. I haven't really had much of a chance to talk to her. We were supposed to record this morning, and that weather stuff, weather. What do you know? But she's here now, and she is a brand new mission partner. We are thrilled to have her in. Now, if you scan that code right there, you can support our friend, Kaylee Rogers. How you doing, sweetie?
Hi, thank you so much for all of the goodness because I'm here in Arizona. I live in the desert. We don't have much rain, but of course, rain would disrupt internet. Go figure. So
Yeah,
thank you for
yeah.
your flexibility.
Hey, you know what? As I was trying to, as I've been trying to tell you, our goal is to make sure that we get your message out. You have a lot of things going on, and I think your story is going to help so many people because, and we talk a lot about different issues that different people have. One of the great things about being individuals is that every single one of us has different issues we have to work through. But having somebody there who can help us work through it is so important.
Yeah.
Kaylee, tell us a little bit about Broken Arrow Wranglers, and then I want you to tell us a little bit later about Shine His Light LLC.
Oh, you are fabulous, Zach. I want to start with like my own personal journey. So I'm a human just like everybody else, but I've experienced some tremendous adversity, things I didn't choose, things that just came, and it impacted my brain, my body, my spirit. So it left me with complex PTSD. And most of my life, I didn't even know that that's what I was experiencing until I hit grad school and went, oh, that sounds very familiar, huh? This is fascinating that this is what's going on with me. And my healing journey really started when I met God when I was a kid. Thank God he was there, even in all the midst of this suffering. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking in front of you. Like, I would be another statistic for sure. But he's walked with me, and then my healing journey continued. And it's funny that he could take a small town West Virginia girl and make her a trauma therapist who herself has walked with PTSD. Like, who else can create a story like that? But as I was walking through all my journey, I worked in domestic violence shelters and facilities that help teens that already had attempted suicide or overdosed, harmed somebody else in the community. They weren't even at risk, like they were risk. And as I was working there, I would see all the ways that the system would fail to help people. It could be insurance, it could be cost, it could even be modalities. There was like this ceiling that would happen and people could only get so far. And I said, well, that's not okay. That's no good. So I'm always reaching for social justice that things get better. But I found, I could do a lot of help for the clients that I saw, like one-on-one with a therapist. Oh, it does amazing things. Like God tells us in Proverbs, seek godly counsel. Like life gets better when you seek people that help with you and walk with you. But I could only go so far with the people I met. Like they would meet me and know that their therapist cared about them, but they were like, no, the rest of humanity, I don't think so. So we would get to, again, like this door and then couldn't cross the threshold. And I realized how much people need community. Like I myself needed community. And when someone's been abused, neglected, they don't trust other humans, they're terrified to enter community with other people. So Broken Arrow Wranglers came out of that. Like we needed, not only for ourselves with the people we served, a safe hub, a safe community where people were loved just as they are. They could come and hang. And we found horses at that time, as well as now, they really are the gateway to that. Horses keep us honest and they draw us together. And all kinds of things happen when we get together in our community to heal.
Kaylee, let me ask you this real quick. Why is it that some people can, I hope she's coming right back. Let me go on ahead and while she's reconnecting here, I'm going to share with you their page. This is their page on our landing site. You can see Broken Arrow Wranglers, 501c3, and Shine His Light, LLC. Up here, if you use any of these little code, these little doodads up here, whatever they're called, I'm sorry, but they're links. You got everything from their Facebook page, their whatever that one is, Instagram. I don't know why I can never remember Instagram. To LinkedIn. Okay, well, we see the back of something. That's nice. There we go. But it's all good, Kaylee. Don't get too up about it.
Oh my
But
God.
you can also see this is Kaylee's personal LinkedIn page, and they're alignable. We don't have the little symbol for alignable, so that's what that is. But all you have to do is go on here and you can learn a little bit more. You can go to the website, you can check it out, okay? You can make a direct donation to brokenarrowwranglers.com. But this is an important thing here, okay? If you click on this button, it goes directly to their landing page, their website, okay? We don't have anything to do with their money. So that's very important for me to share with you guys. Their donations, when you make a donation to them, you make a donation to them. We don't take anything from that. That's not our responsibility. We don't want to touch their money. We just want your receipts. That's all we want. And every time that you make a purchase from any of our partners and you use Broken Arrow's QR code, they get a portion of every sale. So please, please, please get out there, make those purchases through any of our community pay it forward partners. And all you got to do is come on to this page, scan the QR code. It'll take you to the mission or to the giving partners, or it'll take you to a place where you can tell us what you need to do. You need a carpenter. Tell us you need a carpenter. We'll try to find you a carpenter. When that happens, we get a referral and we give at least 75% of that referral to Kaylee and Broken Arrow Wranglers. Okay, Kaylee, we got you back. So it is what it is. My question for you is, what is it that makes certain people strong and certain people lose their way?
Oh man. What a loaded question, Zach, man.
It is.
It's disputed, right? Throughout history, like all the last thousands of years, people will wonder, well, why did Bob land in this position where he's strong, he's capable, he's purposeful, but then Jim is like, I just want out of this life, like, get me out of here, right? So there's, like all the scientific stuff that I could talk about first. We look at people's upbringing, someone that has a foundation in their family and in their life, like they get a pretty good picture of who they are, what life is all about, that yes, tough things are going to happen, but if you stay anchored to a sense of community, who you are, to God, you're going to be okay. And then there's a subset of people, this is most of the people I work with, their entire upbringing is just chaos. They haven't had a one safe person that they know loves them as they are or isn't going to hurt them. And so when someone grows up that way, they hit even harder storms in life. It's kind of like the boat of life. They already have a bunch of holes in it, and then a big storm comes and the ship's going to sink. So trauma has a huge, huge impact. But I'd also say like temperament and worldview really matter. So someone like myself, where like I know evil exists and I know horrible things are going to happen regardless of what I do, and I know the end game in mind, I can weather the storms a lot easier than someone that, it's hard for them to understand why they're here or why life is the way that it is. So something then comes and like the boat capsizes.
Oh, no. Oh, that was such a good story too. But that's okay. She's still working. We're still going to get this. We're going to get this figured out. We're going to have a conversation with Kayla. I'm telling you. Right here is the Broken Arrow. It's the web page. Okay, and look, this is about Kayla is a women's. She works with the women, but as you can see, there is a men's sacred circle. Hallelujah Retreat, and it's all about horses. It looks like, Kayla, you guys are equine therapy, I take it.
Yeah, so it's interesting. My story around horses as well is pretty fascinating. I worked in community mental health and I got severely burnt out. I was working from my own spirit and not the spirit of God. So I was in a tough place, and something told me, get around horses, get around horses. I got a random invite to a pilot program, showed up on a Saturday morning, and the horse they put in the round pen named Tango was just booking it as fast as he could. Like, he's so anxious and freaked out. And within 15 minutes of them working with this horse, all of us in the bleachers were in tears. Like, we watched this horse be terrified of another person and then be able to take a deep breath and let it all go. So there's something about horses. They're honest when people aren't. They sync up with our heartbeats and help us be calm. They draw the things out from inside of us we try to hide. Horses are absolutely the gate. So it's one of the many things that I do is I work in partnership with horsemen, horsewomen, and horses. They are the best partners to have, to be honest. And we help people heal. But I do work with all around. So I work with women, I work with men, I work with youth, veterans, and then I have a special passion for the criminal justice population. In particular, those that have been or are incarcerated. You know, our community is really against child abuse, as we should be, but then we look at our prisons and they're all adults that have experienced childhood abuse. So when we treat that system as a trauma-informed system, things actually get better.
I think a lot of times as a society that we do forget that, you know, a lot of times the difference between somebody who's been convicted of something and somebody who hasn't is the convicted person got caught. We've all done things in our lives that are not up to our own standards. We've all done made stupid decisions at some point in time. Okay. And a lot of times the only difference is they got caught. We didn't. And we need to remember that just because somebody has made a bad decision in a moment does not make them a bad person. And when they come out, if we shun them, we're not doing any good. We're taking somebody who could be a very, very lucrative piece of the community and we're discounting them. We're throwing them away, and that it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So, and you know, look, I think anybody who's out there and willing to try needs to have that opportunity to do so. So, you guys are obviously very religious based. Tell me about the program and tell me about what are some of the first things you do when somebody comes to you.
I love you asked me two questions at the same time. The first one you mentioned, it's funny, the word religion. That was actually just talked about in the church service I was at yesterday, that we tend to be known as the rebels for Jesus, as opposed to kind of like the Pharisee, follow religion, because ultimately we really are just in relationship with a loving God who created us and walking with him. That being said, everybody is welcome. Like, the people that come to our experiences, we don't ask them, so what do you believe? And then like, you can't come. That is not us. But we do ask, because regardless if someone has faith or non-faith, it shapes how they see the world and how they see themselves. And so if we can't incorporate who someone is and their spiritual person into the conversation, we miss the mark. But every time someone comes in, Sean, the other lead in the nonprofit, he describes it really well. We look at the landscape of what their healing would be. So just like a guide might guide someone through a hiking trail, we look and we go, okay, well, this person, and they've experienced chronic exposure to stress, so their body's breaking down. They really do need like a special doctor that specializes in autoimmune disease. So we've got one of those. Or yeah, and their body's just so tense up. They need someone to help them release. Well, we've got a yoga person right there. They need a 1-day retreat to just get away and engage in holistic therapies. They need a longer term program for PTSD. They come see me. So we gauge that at the forefront, and we do it through conversation, because we too know what that's like. Like, I know what it's like to experience all of those things. And so when I'm talking to someone, I just immediately know. It's like trauma survivors speak the same language, if that makes sense.
Yeah. One of the things that you and I are working on, which is just so important, is that if we together can put together $7,500, that would help immediately 5 low-income women access healing, led by you. That,
yes,
when I saw that, it was one of the things that really made it important that we don't scare you off, that we make sure that you stay with the program, because treatment should not be dictated by financial ever.
yep.
If somebody gets lost in the shuffle because they didn't have money, it's a system that's broken badly.
Yes, sir. Oh, you nailed it. Like, every single word, Zach. Oh my God, I love you, brother. Like, every single thing you just said, because how not okay it is that we say, look, healing's right here. Oh, but like, the door's shut because you can't afford it. Like, that's just wrong. So we made a commitment that everybody should be able to access it. So a lot of people I just see obediently. I have several people I see weekly or monthly for therapy, and they can't afford it at all, but I just see them. And then when I'm funded, there we go. It's a risky way to work, and you hit a wall at some point, but how can you say no to people that trust you and work with you and want to keep seeing you? So that $7,500 for those women in particular, these are women that are really hiding in the shadows of their life. Like, they're experiencing anguish alone because they are terrified to engage in relationship with others. So they're not connected in a life group. They may not have a large system of friends. There may be fractures and frays in their marriage or their relationships. And to come into a safe space like the Healing Intensive, they can reconcile all of that fear. I'm a nationally certified trauma therapist. I don't always lead with that, but I know how to help someone when they don't know how to trust anybody anymore. And I know how to help someone when they say, how can I believe in a good God when my baby died? Like, how does that make sense? I know what to do with all of that. And it's unfortunate that most of our society doesn't. We've kind of gotten off of how to really sit and be with people. And I found that when my brother died in grief, I've experienced a lot of grief in my life, but this last one in 2022, it was almost like the world got back to normal after 2 weeks. A lot of people were like, well, how are you doing? I was like, terrible. Like, 2 weeks is nothing. I'm just now coming to my senses that this even exists, that this is the new frontier of my life for the duration of it. It would make a tremendous difference for these women, and it's in person. And then there's also lifelong resources for them, like video content and exercises to help their body continue to heal.
And I don't want to discount men and what they go through and by any means, because I know for a fact what men have to go through, but we as a society put so much, we're kind of in a, well, we're not kind of in a, we're in a situation where women aren't expected to be able to do all the things that men are able to do. Yet when something traumatic happens, we expect them to be able to snap back and, hey, your mom, get back at this. What are you doing? You don't have time to do this. Your mom, you're superwoman. Yet we still treat women in a lot of cases like they're second-hand citizens, which is just outrageously stupid. I'll just say it, in my mind. That puts more pressure on women, doesn't it?
It does. You hit two different fronts, actually. So the first front, I tend to find this as well, women that have experienced a lot of trauma early on, they have kids young, and then they're being a mom, right? So they're doing the best they can as a parent and as a human. And usually around their 30s and 40s, things really start to break down. So a lot of times that's their entry point into therapy, and they see me and they go, am I broken? I can't do it anymore. Like, what's wrong with me? And I'm like, well, actually, your body has been dealing with like actual poison in it. Like, too much cortisol is poison for our body. And so naturally, yes, it's shutting down. It's not because you did anything wrong. It's the nature of the physiology of your body. But then I also see this with men and boys in particular. My specialty in residential care was actually teen boys. And I can't tell you, probably all of them at this point have been told, you know, buck it up, rub dirt on the wound, like you're the
Yep.
man of the house, you've got to get it together. I just recently met a young man who had a really significant loss in his life, a suicide. And about 50 people the day after the funeral texted him, well, be strong, you're the man of the house. And I'm like, you're 12 years old. Like, one, you can never be the man of the house, but two, you're just trying to process your own loss. Like, how not okay that is. Like, that's not okay. And so we see generations of men with that same mentality, you know, being told and taught, be emotionless, be stoic, you can't be able to process any of these things. And then we find men that are blank walls. They don't know how to access themselves or get intimate.
There's so much more on the other side of that. There's so much more.
What is it about us that thinks that we can take and put our values, our our ability to cope on someone?
Hi, Shannon.
I don't know why it's showing up as Shannon.
Oh, hi, Bill. How are you?
I'm doing great, but I'm not Shannon.
Is your device called Shannon or something?
She's a partner in what I do, and so I guess
Okay.
I'll have to figure out how to switch my name.
Yeah. Otherwise, I can change it for you for right now, anyway.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, she's pretty and young, and that's not me.
Oh.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt the flow of thing. I just got back to my office, and
And no worries.
What-
So
what
is
I-
there anything in particular you wanted to talk about, or anything like that, Bill?
no, I mean, there's nothing specific other than, I help people with special needs trust and funding the trust. And I do seminars on tax-free retirement and lowering your cost on healthcare and needs trust and helping people across the way, across all fronts. So there's nothing really specific for me to discuss. Just I promised I would join, and now I'm back. So
Okay.
here I am.
All right, but yeah, how's life been with you?
Oh,
Recently, I haven't seen you. It seems like it's been a while since the last time I saw
it's
you.
been a ton of time has passed. Extremely busy.